Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Michelle, and if you are new here, welcome. Please do subscribe. I've got plenty of bright, colorful content coming up for you guys. And if you have been around for a while, thank you for being here. I am working in the big artist size journal from Art by Marlene, and I wanted to make flowers. So in Marlene's Paper Elements book, the big one that she's just released in January, she has some mandala shapes, and I thought that I would attempt to make them into fun, quirky little flowers. So for my background, I took inspiration from the back cover of that journal. It's got this beautiful, dreamy, I guess, kind of sunset looking background. And I really like the colors. I really like how that purple flows into the pink and the pink flows into the orange. And then it becomes yellow. And it's so blended and smooth. It's really, really pretty. So I am attempting to replicate that. I started off with Royal, which is Marlene's darker purple, and I smudged it with a wet baby wipe, but the color disappeared too much. So I switched over to a makeup sponge, which I've wet a little bit, and now I'm just blending the colors. So the colors that I've used were Royal, Lavender, Ballet. No, first it was Fuchsia, Ballet, probably a little bit of Kissy, Hot Curry, Yellow, and then for the white bits, I'm using a little bit of gesso just to blend things together. And then once I've got that base color down, I'm going in with my neon paint. So this is the pink one, and I've just blended it over some of the pink spots, and then I'm going to add a little bit more white here and there to get kind of a cloudy sky kind of feeling. I think I'll also go over the top with the yellow neon and also the hot pink, which is also a neon color, but it's got a little bit more of a orangey kind of look. So the reason I'm doing that is to just brighten those colors. So neons are translucent, and if you put them over an existing color, so say pink over pink, it's like you're putting a filter over the top of that color. So it's just boosting the brightness and the vibrancy. It's not going to change the color. It's not going to hide any of the texture and the pattern at the of what's underneath it. So it's really just to boost the color. Okay, now that I have a background that I'm kind of happy with, I'm going to add a little bit of mark making. So I'm going in with Punk, which is the neon purple paint in Marlene's range. And I'm just going over the top of some areas that I don't particularly love. So maybe where the orange and the purple have blended a bit together and it looks a bit mucky. I'm just going over the top of that. I knew I wanted to use this lots of dots stencil, and I knew I wanted to use the gibberish stamp, and they're both quite small. So before I went in with that, I wanted to add a bigger element of mark making. So now I'm going in with Marlene's lace paint, and I'm just going through and stenciling lots of dots. This adds a little bit of white space to my page. And I'm not covering the whole page. I'm just going into sections here and there. Again, knocking back some of those colors that I don't particularly like, the way that they've blended. And just to keep things interesting, I'm not covering everything. And now I'm going with my gibberish stamp, and I'm just using little sections. So I've kept my stamp on its plastic backing so I can still move and bend it, and just pick up a little bit of ink and then smoosh down a little bit of ink instead of having a square shape on my page. So it just looks a little bit more, I guess, organic or natural, I guess. I'm grabbing out some of the mandalas, and I also grabbed out a little flower, and I'm just going to stick them down, and they will be the base of my flowers, or I guess the starting point. I'm going to take color inspiration from them, and I'm just going to extend them using very, very simple shapes. So on that first one, I'm just going around the circle with another circle. Then I'm going in with petals. I am thickening up the petals. And on each of these flowers, you'll see it really is just as simple as adding an extra circle or two and a petal shape. And the petal shapes don't even vary that much. It's just that some of them are thinner, some of them are fatter, some of them are wider. So it's really, really simple to get this done. It does not take a lot of skill or effort. I am not good with drawing flowers, and I find that I am most successful when I do quirky flowers like this and just stick to really simple shapes and really simple concepts. When I've got a color down, I might go back in and add another color on top. So the way I often look at, I guess you could call it like mark making or mandalas, the way I look at it is every surface that I put down is an opportunity to be, or rather every element that I put down is the opportunity to be another surface. So that petal shape that I've done, or like this one that I'm doing now, it is the opportunity for me to make more pattern on top of it. And you will see later on, I'm going to go in with little circle shapes onto that petal, because it's just another spot for me to add more detail and interest. What I like about doing pages like these, mandalas or these kind of flowers, is that your eye keeps on looking. Your eye is engaged all the time. I don't know if that makes any sense. In my mind it does. I hope it does for you too. But the longer you look at this page at the end, the more detail you're going to see. So eventually, at first glance, it's actually just going to look like 5 flowers on a page. But when you're looking closer, like on this purple flower, you're going to notice that there's like little blue diamond shapes in there. In those diamond shapes, I think I also did another pattern. So the more you look, the deeper you look, the more details you're going to see. And it's actually never going to get boring to look at this page. It's never going to get boring to make these kinds of pages. The color options are endless. The pattern options are endless. I don't think you'd ever be able to replicate this page exactly the same, because there's actually just too much going on. And it doesn't take that long. So this page took me just over an hour. The background did take a long time. I did not think it was going to take quite as long, but it did. But the flower parts actually came together really quickly and easily. And it's just a matter of keeping my hand moving, adding a dot, adding a line, filling a gap. And really that's it. That's as easy as that. I promise you, if I can do it, you can do it too. I would love to know if you have done something like this before, and also if this has maybe inspired you to do something. So like I said, in that little blue diamond shape. I've just gone in and made little heart shapes by just squashing my pen down. And once I've got enough color down, I will go in with black and white, and I'm just going to outline and add details and highlights and try and bring this page together. Now, while you watch me faffing about here, this video will only go up by the end of Feb. I've preloaded a whole bunch of videos for you guys because my husband and I are actually going away, and by the time this one goes up, we'll be almost back home again. So yeah, I hope you enjoy them. I hope you still enjoy them. This red flower did not come together for me. Now looking at it on screen, it actually looked fine. But I don't know, something was just off for me. And so I decided to draw extra little blue petals between the red ones. And I really am glad that I did that. I think it looked much better. And you'll see it all come together once I do the black outlining. Then it looks like a whole flower. I really like how that turned out. So as you can see, this kind of process can just go on and on and on, and it can be as simple or as complicated as you wish. It's one of those things that you can get completely lost in. In fact, my daughter was busy practicing her piano, so I had this beautiful background music going, and I just got lost in creating this page. I also did want to mention to you guys, for myself, definitely, I do not always have a plan. So, in fact, most times I don't have a plan. I don't know what the next step is in that. So, oftentimes when we watch people creating on YouTube or Instagram or wherever you watch them, it really looks like they've got their stuff together and that they know what they are doing. But that is because the videos are sped up quite a bit, and you actually don't see the fiddling and the faffing about all the time, and how long it really takes to, let's say, draw these stems. It looks really quickly, but it actually does take time. So please don't feel discouraged when you sit in front of your page and you think, oh, this is taking so long. My hand doesn't keep moving. I don't think I know where I'm going. I promise you, for the most part, that is how the creative process works. I definitely don't always have a plan. I knew that I wanted to use the mandalas on this page, and that's it. And then when I opened my journal, I knew that I wanted to replicate that sky, and that's it. So it's really just about keeping the hand moving and then coming to the end. Somehow things pull together. So always remember, you are watching us in high speed and we really don't have our shit together the way you might think we do. I've gone back into Marlene's previous release, the Paper Elements book, the Golden Oldie Paper Elements book, and I'm just pulling out a couple of leaves and like frondy bits to add some more detail to these flowers. I did think that I would just draw or paint the leaves in, but then for sake of time, I just pulled some out of that book, and they looked really cute. So just trying to find all of the bits and bobs that I want to put on there, and then there's still a little bit of shuffling around of the leaves, and eventually I start sticking them down. I think I forgot to mention that on the flower stems, I also added a little bit of mark making. So just again, lines and dots, just to add interest, but also to make them look separate from each other, especially the ones at the back that's coming from behind. So that blue one at the top, I wanted to make sure that that stem was definitely different to the others, so it doesn't look like it belonged to the purple flower in the front. And once I'm done with putting all the leaves in place, I am just going to do a quick black outline and possibly a white outline as well. This just makes everything unified and it just ties things together. Otherwise, it really would have looked just like green lines going down and leaves on top. So I do try to make them look like they belong together. The second one from the right had on the leaves had a white outline. So instead of outlining the stem with black, I also went around with white to tie the flowers and the stem together. Now I'm just going in and making like little grass blades at the bottom there, first with a dark green, then with a lighter green on top. And that just makes them look not realistic, but a little bit of dimension. I'm going in with a tiny little bit of my Stabilo All pencil just on the right side of the flowers. I'm also not doing the whole flower or the whole stem, just here and there, just to give the illusion of a little bit of shadowing happening there. And I'm not just drawing my line down and water activating. I am actually pulling that pigment out a little bit to make it look like a light shadow. It's not a very harsh line. And instead of a quote for this page, I did a whole lot of different words. So it said things like love, hope, magic, create, art. I can't remember what they all were. Whimsy, maybe it was whimsy. But I just stuck a couple of words down there and outlined them with a gel pen. And I'm calling this page Done. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you enjoyed this process. Please subscribe if you have not done so. Like, leave a comment, and let me know if you've tried doing a page like this before. I will see you when I get back from holiday and chat to you soon. Bye.